Hi, everybody. Welcome to the OnStage Blog Theater podcast. We're really excited to be here today. And I am theater critic Rachel Wagner, and Jacklyn Collier is here.
Hello. I am really excited to talk about our topic today.
Yeah, today is going to be very fun. It's going to probably maybe we'll have some hot takes. It'll be interesting to see what people think, and we want to definitely hear your response in the comments, or on Twitter. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear what you think. Today, we are talking about our favorite Broadway musicals, but particularly what is the best and worst song from these popular musicals, and I think that's going to be an interesting exercise to see what we think. And
I think
and
so too.
I really wanted to try to make sure that these were like actual songs, not
Right.
like a reprise, not like an actual song.
Yeah, I think because sometimes there's like an interlude or a reprise
Yeah,
that you're like, no, does that really count?
yeah. So it's going to be fun. But before we dove into that, I did want to just let everybody know, big change for me. I have decided, after a lot of thought, I've decided to step away from reviewing for Utah Theater Bloggers, for UTBA. I'm really grateful for everything that I'm really grateful for everything I learned writing for them. The only reason that I am a critic at all, or even have this podcast, is because particularly Russell Warren, who was the president, took me under his wing and really helped me. So I have nothing but kind things to say, nothing but good things. But it was just the right time for me to kind of stretch my wings and write for myself a little bit more, and pursue some other outlets as well. I've already done a review for the Rhetorical Review, which is a very interesting site. My friend Kaylani runs it, and she really focuses on bringing out the lessons that we can learn from these productions. And so I really enjoyed writing for her, and I think that it's going to be fun. Like the different sites that hopefully outlets I'll get to write for, and the different approaches, and so I'm looking forward to it. And so, definitely no shade thrown at all. It was a great experience, and you should definitely all check out UTBA for lots of great Utah reviews. But it was time for a change.
Well, number one, I just want to say congratulations because I think you've done such an incredible job with your work there. But I think that we all do know when it's time to move on. Like originally, when I worked for Hallmark doing the bubbly sesh, which was great, it wasn't my choice to move on.
Hmm.
But when it happened, it wouldn't have opened me up to having other opportunities, like getting to do all the shows we've done together
Yeah.
and becoming best friends. And I mean, I think it would have happened anyway. Look, I think it
Yeah.
would have happened anyway. But I
Right.
really do. I mean, not to be cheesy, but when one door closes, another
Yeah.
opens. And I know a lot of the things that you're publicly working on, but then also some of the creative endeavors that you have that you haven't talked about as much yet that I'm super excited to see where everything goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited. Yeah, I remember when the change was happening to publish this. Literally, I was like, "Ooh,
And
it's great."
I was like, Rachel's giving me a home.
I'm like, yes, this is good news for me, sad
They're
news for her.
I'm yeah, I was like, oh, you'll take me? Let's do this.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, is really the journey of being a freelancer is one gig and then up the next gig, and it was unpaid. Most of it was volunteer for UTBA, but it's still a gig in a sense. And but it's just kind of the interesting world that we live in as anybody who's involved in the arts these days. That's just the way it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that that's kind of, even though it can be a challenging lifestyle, I think there's a lot of fun with it as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. I wanted to say that. And so make sure you check out rachelsreviewstheater.com, because most of my reviews are going to be on there. And I'm so excited because as part of this transition, I actually got approved to cover, to be a critic for press for Broadway Across America, which is basically the national tour. So that was very exciting.
Yeah.
And when I emailed them, because I got the email from a friend, and she was like, "Oh, we totally know who you are." Which I was like,
You're like, oh, my
"Oh."
reputation precedes me. Thank you.
That made me feel good.
Like,
Um,
yes, you're welcome.
yeah, I mean, especially because I just was pretty harsh on Mrs. Doubtfire, their most recent one, and so they knew who I was, but still, valued my opinion. And I was like, if you want, I since I'm single, I don't even need 2 tickets. Like I was trying to kind of sell it,
You're like,
and
here we go.
and they were like, oh, you get 2 tickets. I was like,
I also, though, your review of Mrs. Doubtfire, it wasn't, you were fair and it was well written.
yeah,
Like
well,
I
thank
think
you.
that's what I think for me. I have issue with criticism when it's like out of left field or it can't be backed up, but I
Yeah.
thought it was a very fair review.
Oh, thanks. I try my best. I really do. I try. I know it's hard for everybody involved. It's their babies. They've worked so hard on it, and it can be
Yeah.
tough. I get it. I totally do. And I try to give them space. If they're feeling a little upset with me, I get that. But yeah, I try my best to be respectful,
Yeah.
and even if it is a fairly strong opinion. but
A
yeah,
hot
and
take, piping hot take.
yeah. And on my site, it's kind of unique. It's kind of a unique spin on criticism because I have what I call logs, and the logs are very different from an actual review. And so what happens is when I am asked by a company to review their show, like with Broadway Across America, with Hale Theater, different things, then I will come. It's usually, I think always, a comped ticket, and I
Right.
go and I review the show in as much detail as possible, and give them their own solo review, right? But then if I am just there as a patron, paying for my own ticket, I'm just there as a patron. It's what I call a log. So it's just a couple paragraphs, usually 2, 3, and just sharing my overall response. And I give something what I call either a go see it or a not for me. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad. It's just not for me, and
Yeah.
that's okay. And so
And that is, I think, so fair because everyone has different tastes and
yeah.
preferences.
Yeah, and I hope that people can read my logs or reviews and be like, "Oh, that might be something I'd like, even if it wasn't for her."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. All right, well, let's dive in. Let's talk about our favorite and least favorite songs. And did you have any kind of thought process in general when you were going through this list of how do you decide what's the best song or the worst song in a show?
For me, deciding the best song is so much more
It's
difficult.
really hard. Yeah.
Right. Uh,
Yeah.
I think especially for these because there are so many bangers.
Yeah.
So good. Um, the worst song for me has nothing to do with um like if it does critical reception, if it doesn't make sense in the plot. All it has to do with for me is if I'm kind of bored and I don't
Yeah.
really like
A
I think those
lot of
words are
times,
sophisticated for that.
yeah, a lot of times my worst songs are plot heavy songs. Like they're needed for the
Yep.
show. They serve a purpose. I understand why it had to be written in, but they're just more functional songs than they are like great songs.
Same. And I think you and I know as avid theater lovers that those songs most of the time are necessary to advance the plot. They give a lot of information. The acting can be really good, but sometimes it's just like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you next.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's dive in. The first one that I have on this list, these are in no order, they're just random. It was Into the Woods is the first one. And so what do you have as the best?
No one is alone. It's
Mhm.
it's my there's so many giants in the sky close. Like I have so many, but no one is alone for me is the one that just tugs my heartstrings every time. I think it is just a gorgeous song, and I think the words are poetry. I just What's yours? Because I know this is your favorite musical.
Yeah, it's not my favorite musical. I'm actually seeing it tomorrow. Our friend Josh Egbert, who's been on the podcast, I was going to see him at Centerpoint Theater, which I wish next time I hope you can do a winter trip, because I really hope I
I would
take
love
you to
to.
Centerpoint because they're so good. But anyway, he's playing the Prince, and so it's perfect that my favorite song is his song Agony, is my
Oh
favorite
yeah.
song. It's to me the most entertaining, it's the most memorable, it's the funniest, and yeah, it's my favorite. What's your worst for Into the Woods?
Hello, little girl.
Mm, yeah.
Meh. Again, advances the plot. It's necessary. Every time I've seen it, it's been really well done. But I'm never going to be listening to it on the cast recording.
hmm Well, that's a good pick. My least favorite of Into the Woods is Your Fault. You know, it's your
I,
fault.
you
Yes,
know,
it's your fault.
what's funny? That sticks in my head, and I have fun like singing it. If I'm like, no, it's your fault, but it's annoying. It's annoying when you're watching it. If you're singing it, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Um, but I agree with you. I see why you picked that.
Yeah. Well, and I bet a lot of these bad songs or worse songs are kind of like that. That there are probably pretty fun to perform, but are they the best?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So that would be my pick for Into the Woods. Okay, next we have Wicked. I'm very curious which you picked for best.
This is really hard. And my pick of best is going to feel very similar to Into the Woods because it hits that same emotional spot. It's for good. One Short Day was a close second. Um, for of course, Divine Gravity is great.
Uh-huh.
So many good ones. But again, for me, these songs that pull it all together and really tug at your heartstrings and kind of give you this poetry at the end, that's what's gonna end up being my favorite. What's yours?
Well, I almost went with Popular. It's probably
Yeah.
the most memorable song for me of the show. But I feel like how can you not pick Defying Gravity? It's
It's
just
so good.
like such an anthem, and Idina kills it when she sings it.
And she's coming back to Broadway. Were we talking about that?
Yeah, what's it called? That
I
she
want to say
has
Redwood or something.
something like that, yeah, which is very exciting in
Yeah,
2025. Yeah.
yeah.
So I have I have Defying Gravity. It's such a hard song. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Can't wait to hear Cynthia Rivio sing it. Oh, it's
Oh
gonna
my
be
gosh.
so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you have for worst of Wicked?
Something bad.
Yeah, I mean, this was the easiest one of all of them. I mean, and I'm just like, do we need to have the goat song in the movie? Do we need like
Something bad.
why is that in this show? Why is he a goat? I don't understand.
What is happening? Why? Why?
Because none of the other characters are animal-ish. Why
I
is he? I don't understand.
Girl, it defies explanation. It defies explanation. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Steven Schwartz just got bored, so we're like, let's make it about goat
You're
man.
like, why not? I'm sure. Like while we're here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, next we have My Fair Lady. So what do you have as best?
I love I Could Have Danced All Night.
Yeah,
I just think
same.
it's ultra romantic, beautiful.
I agree. I agree. Even though I don't really love the romance, I mean I could almost pick On the Street Where You Live. I think that's
Ooh.
also really beautiful. I love that. But uh I do think I Could Have Danced All Night is
Yeah.
is is the standout song from the show. There's so many great songs in the show.
Yeah, On the Street Where You Live is so close for me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what do you have for worst?
Okay, I have kind of one that I think is a hot take because I
Uh-huh.
know it's a good song.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't It Be Loverly gets on my nerves.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's again fun to sing, and I'll sing it. It sticks in my head, so it's not a bad song by any
Yeah.
means. It gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I can see that. For me, it's with a little bit of luck.
Yep.
It's like a cute melody. But he's such a scoundrel. He's such, I mean, the whole song is about him being a, horrible woman, horrible person. And it's like, da, 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 da. Yeah, isn't this charming? And I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
Stop.
it's not.
You're a horrible father and companion to your not wife. Like, you're awful.
Exactly. Toe tapper.
Yeah, yeah. So that one's my least favorite. All right. Next we have Singing in the Rain. And what do you have as favorite?
This was hard too, but I'm actually just gonna go with the titular song, "Singing in the
Hmm.
Rain."
Yeah. I mean, it's a great pick. I also love You Are My Lucky Star at the end when he sings, You are my lucky star. I love that. But I'm actually gonna go with Make 'em Laugh. It's so iconic and so funny, and it's just an incredible dance. The way that just everything, physical comedy, everything is so good. Make them laugh. What do you have as the worst song? It's Singing in the Rain.
Okay, so again, this is one of those that sticks in my head. This still gets on my nerves. Moses supposes.
Oh yeah,
Moses supposes his doses aroses
yeah.
Moses supposes erroneously. I
That
mean,
is an earworm.
yeah, it's an earworm,
Yeah, it's
and boy,
true.
will it get in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's I think what I'm gonna go for.
I went with
What
Beautiful
about you?
Girls. Beautiful Girls. It's like takes up so much time and it does
Yes,
absolutely nothing for the plot. Like, why did they give this character that we literally never see again a whole song? I mean, there's no
and not
reason. It does
necessary.
nothing to help Kathy's character. It does nothing. It's literally just an excuse for a musical number. And but we already have so many. And the show,
Yeah,
like, it's totally unnecessary. They should have cut it from when they did the stage adaptation. They should have cut Beautiful Girls. I don't know why they kept it in. You
it
don't need
is. It
it.
is kind of mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like okay.
All right. Next we have Les Miserables. What is your favorite?
Rachel, this isn't fair.
It's tough, I know. It really
Um,
is.
this I honestly the way I'm feeling today, I'm gonna go with "Do You Hear the People Sing?"
Oh, yeah.
It just there's something. I mean, this epic swell.
So
Um,
good.
oh my gosh, and what is the name of one? The one "Rain Will Make the Flowers Grow."
Ebony.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So that is great
I
too. But
love that one too. Oh my gosh.
so
I
good.
love that so much. And of course, I Dreamed a Dream is so
So
great. And Bring Him Home is so good.
oh,
I mean, the list goes on. But I gotta go with On My Own. And it's such a beautiful song. It's so emotionally true. And it really changed how I thought that singing should be sung. I had
yes.
never heard that kind of belt. I'm not saying it invented that. I get it. There was Ethel Merman. There was, lots of people who sang like that. But it was new to me. And I had never heard anybody sing quite like that. So raw and so like and so it was very exciting for me. And I still, love it to this day.
I mean, so many incredible songs in Les Mis.
Yeah, it really well, I think the worst song in Les Mis is not a bad song. It's just kind of is a Heart Full of Love, I think, for
Uh,
me.
yes, I'm gonna say yes, and in my life.
Yeah. I
Wait, is
feel
that
like
the
those are practically the same song.
I just realized that. See?
Cosette's songs are the worst in Les Mis. We just agree. Yeah, they
I was,
are.
is that the same song? No, exactly. I
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, so then we have Hello Dolly. And I have to go with It Only Takes a Moment is my favorite song from Hello Dolly. And then my least favorite song, I have to go with Motherhood is my
Oh,
least favorite song in Hello Dolly.
yes, yes. I'm
Yeah.
gonna, okay, yes, I'm gonna say I get that. For me, even though it's a beautiful song, Ribbons Down My Back is the worst for
Mm,
me. It's
hmm
I'm
I
always
can see
gonna feel
that.
I'm always gonna feel bored. And I'm actually gonna go with Put On Your Sunday Clothes. Is
Mm,
I
it's
really
fun.
like it. It always makes me happy.
Hmm Yeah, that's that's a good one. All right, next we have Dear Evan Hansen. We're jumping all over the place,
We really are.
which is fun. So what's your favorite Dear Evan Hansen song?
I mean, absolute classic. Waving Through a Window.
Yeah,
I used to listen to it on repeat. I could listen to it 12 times in a row and not be sick of it. What about you?
same. Waving Through a Window. I love this cast recording. The original cast recording, it is so good. But and there are so many bops, but
Mhm.
this is my favorite. Waving Through a Window is so good.
I mean, it's just an incredible piece of musical
Mhm.
theater.
Yeah. So what do you have as the worst?
Uh, I don't love to break in a glove.
Mm,
It's not my fave.
yeah.
What's your least favorite?
Anybody have a map?
Oh, mhm. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's the worst one. But okay, next we have Beauty and the Beast, Broadway musical, not movie. So what do you have as the best?
Home. I love home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I have Be Our Guest.
Mhm.
I love it. Even in the movie, it's my favorite.
And that's one of those too that like I can't listen to that and not feel swept up.
Yeah, you just want
Exactly.
like during the 90s, they would always the Oscars almost always went with the ballad, which I get it.
Yes.
But during the Disney Renaissance, but I would usually go with the more upbeat song. Like I would pick a Friend Like Me from Aladdin. I would pick Be Our Guest. I would pick Under the Sea, which they did pick for that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just like those fun songs.
Yeah. I agree. And it's so fun.
Where I feel like the ballads a lot of the times are kind of interchangeable.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially because so many of them were done by Alan Menken. So like kind of have a similar
I
sort of, I don't know.
you're exactly right that sometimes it feels like, okay, if you have one, you got the other too.
Yeah, like is there that much difference between Part of Your World and A Whole New World and Colors of the Wind and these kinds of things? Good songs, but I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
that the more upbeat song stands out a little bit
And
more for me.
it feels like there's more variety and nuance within it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. So what's your worst for
Human again gets on my dang nerves. Human
yeah.
again. Ugh, I don't like it at
Yeah, I
all.
think Human Again or No Matter What.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of forgettable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh, you had Home. You had Home is best.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have The Sound of Music. So, what do you have as your favorite for Sound of Music?
Climb every mountain.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
I have my favorite things. Is
Oh, yeah,
is my
definitely.
favorite.
Your favorite things here?
Yeah. So, what is your least favorite?
Oh, I hate saying this because I know it's beautiful and I know people love it. Edelweiss.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was
It's so
written for the movie. That was
oh,
not in the original.
oh wait. Oh, so I have to pick a different one, don't I?
Well, no. I think it's
Yeah.
in it now. In like
Okay.
it's been yeah, but something good. Edelweiss, Confidence. I have Confidence. Those are all written for the movie. And then I mean the worst song that that is also in the movie, in my opinion, is The Lonely Goat Herder. It's called
Oh, oh my
like,
God.
why is this song here? I mean, and if you're talking about just the stage show, the two songs sung by Max and the Baroness, I forgot to write down those songs, but they're so forgettable. And I completely support why they took them out of the movie, because they make both of those characters a lot more sinister and likable. We just don't need it.
No, we don't need it.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So
yeah, the
funny.
Lonely Goat Herder. I mean, it's fun to see those puppets, but
Yeah, but you're right. You're like, okay, sure.
in the movie to see the puppets, but especially when they're doing it on stage, it's just kind of what's happening? Why are they doing
Yeah,
this?
where am I? What is
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
So
So,
funny.
all right. Next we have Music Man. What's your favorite song from Music Man?
I love Good Night, My Someone. I
Mm.
it's one of my favorite um favorite all-time favorite musical theater songs. I just love it. I sing it to my niece all the time. I just adore it. What about you?
Yeah, that's a great song. I love so many of the songs, but I gotta go with Trouble.
Great. I
Right
love
here
yeah.
in River City. A little teeth in that magic tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And it's so hard. Whew.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard, but so fun when you hear it. Like,
Starts off the show. It really gets that evangelical kind of Midwest feel to everything. It really sets the tone.
yes.
And yeah, it's great. I also love it. It wouldn't fit because it's kind of an intermediary. It's not a like full song, but I do love when the barbershop quartet and the ladies are doing their, it's like a choral with them doing Ladder Rose. And
I like that too.
think of me, think of you, think of a love song. Yeah, I that dream of, I think it's dream of you, Ladder Rose, that duet I think is really beautiful between them. But well, what is your least favorite song from Music Man?
Okay, this is going into the realm of fun as all get out to sing, but it's annoying to hear. Shoopy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's better. It is better. I know some people have mixed feelings about when they modernize lyrics and don't keep the some of that awkward content. Some people feel like,
Yeah.
oh, we should keep it in there. Then other people feel like, but I don't know. I mean, I do, in that case, I do like the new lyrics. I do better than I don't. It's a tough thing. We should probably do a whole episode on that one of these days. But
Actually, wait, I don't know about this. Can you fill me in?
oh, okay. So the in the revival, the most recent revival,
Uh-huh.
they changed the lyrics to particularly Shapoopy. It's no
Oh,
longer about, a woman that gives out on the very first time is
yes.
definitely a hussy. And
Yeah.
the second time, if you
Yeah.
wait 3 times, then she's your Shapoopy. Uh, and so yeah, I forget what they changed it to, but they changed it.
Okay, very interesting because to
Yeah.
be clear, like I love that idea they changed it because of yeah, I as an ardent feminist, I don't want to be shaming anyone, but I just say I just don't like it uh because it's annoying. Not for any like deep reason.
Favorite song of the show is the Sadder But Wiser Girl for me. That's my
I
least
get
favorite.
that.
Because I mean, I get it. We need to make Harold unlikable. He is a scoundrel. But I don't know. I just feel like it almost goes too far. It's too much, and I just yeah. So that's my least favorite
Yeah, we don't need to
song.
go that.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and I was kind of going more off the movie when I did this because I couldn't remember because the all the new songs, it is a very bad adaptation, the stage adaptation. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. It only has 4 songs from the movie.
Can I say I didn't yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
realize even
And they're
I think I've
all
only seen the movie.
completely forgettable. All
Yeah.
the new songs are terrible. Well, not terrible, they're just bland.
Yeah.
So but what do you have as your favorite song from Seven Brides for Seven Brothers?
I have When You're in Love.
Mm,
my
Mhm.
favorite.
Oh
What
yeah,
about
yeah. I have sobbing women just because I
Yeah,
think it's funny.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. And it's catchy. It's an earworm. They'll get stuck in your
Yeah,
head.
another earworm is like right in there.
Yeah. So what do you have for the worst?
Spring, spring, spring.
Yeah, I can see that. I have Wonderful, Wonderful Day.
Yeah.
It does what it needs to do, but it's a pretty corny song.
That's the thing. There are these songs that you're like, okay, like I get it. You do what you need to do, but it's not staying power for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. All right. So we have Annie Get Your Gun, and this is another one that was in revivals was scrubbed up quite a bit. But what's your favorite?
I've got the sun in the morning.
That's a good
Let's
one.
go. I get all like
Yeah, that's a good
warm and
one.
cozy inside, and I just love it so much.
Yeah.
You.
I have An Old Fashioned Wedding. I love that duet.
Yeah.
I want to be married in a big church with bridesmaids and flower girls. It's
And you know
um,
what? This is a testament to how good the show is because anything you can do, I can do better. We
oh
pick,
yeah.
and it's so gosh darn good.
Yeah,
But
that is good. What is your least favorite?
um, okay. So are we counting the I'm an Indian too song?
So I wrote it down. It's not in the new, it's that was cut from the revival, but I
Okay.
did have it down. That is definitely the worst song in the show.
Like,
Um,
yes.
and then I have You Can't Get a Man with a Gun. It's
Yeah,
just kind of like,
I like it. I
they
think
made
it's
it better in the revival because it's kind of she realizes, oh, that they changed it. So because in the original, she misses the shot
yeah,
because you
yeah.
can't get a man with a gun, and that's the only way that she'll get Bill. But they changed it so that's more ambiguous in this, so it's better. But yeah, it'd be one of those two for me.
Yeah, I love the way you're like, well, definitely wrote that. I'm an Indian too down if we're counting that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Next we have Hamilton. What is your favorite song from Hamilton?
So I am gonna go with My Shot. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's
Yeah.
fun. It kind of gets me going. It's a good pump up song. What about you?
I feel like this is maybe an unpopular opinion, but I have You'll Be Back is my favorite. I just love it. It's so
Oh, it's great.
funny.
It's great. I love it. And Jonathan Groff is so great.
So good.
So, so good.
Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. What do you think is the worst?
Satisfied.
Okay.
I just don't love it. Like it's good, but again, it's just not my
Hmm.
favorite.
Yeah. Well, I have to say no to this. It's functional. It's needed for the plot. You have to do it, but it's probably my least favorite.
Yeah, like I mean, again, with these musicals where it's so good, well, we have scores that are
Yeah.
awesome. It's hard to you have to pick a least favorite.
Yeah. So what do you have for Bye Bye Birdie? What do you have?
Um, so this one is really tricky for me, but my favorite is the telephone hour.
Me too. I have the same.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
What's the
so good.
story? Morning Glory.
I can
Yeah.
picture us in high school doing that.
Yes, I did it in high school. My least favorite is Spanish Rose. It's my
Me
least
too.
favorite. Yeah.
Me too. I
So,
always check out a little bit when they do
yeah,
that
me too.
one. Yeah, it's just not a fave.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Guys and Dolls. I think we might have the same one for this as well.
I have
What do you have?
I don't know, it's hard. Okay, okay. Oh, it's hard. Adelaide's Lament and Sit
Yeah.
Down Your Boat, but Adelaide's
Yep.
Lament.
Those are my two favorite too.
Are they
Yeah,
really?
I agree. Yeah, 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 yeah. So what do you have as the worst?
Okay, are we counting Follow the Fold? Are
Yeah,
we?
I guess you could count that. Yeah. I have Marry the Man Today. It wasn't in the movie, but
Yeah.
yeah, I have that one.
It's yeah, that's one of those that like I like it, but it's not, again, that show is Luck Be a Lady. Like, again, these songs that are so iconic,
Hmm.
that shows what incredible musicals they are, that they're
Yeah.
not even your favorite song.
Yeah. I have White Christmas, and I have White Christmas
Yeah,
as my favorite from it. A lot of
White
good
Christmas.
ones on there. And then from the movie, my least favorite song is the whole minstrel section, which they cut out of the show, which was smart.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
definitely,
Same. It's not, yeah. No, thank
yeah.
you.
And then I've fallen out of love from the show is my weakest song from the show, but yeah, the minstrel number.
Yeah, it's like, you guys, okay.
And it's so long. So
So,
long. So
yeah,
long.
where you're just like, how did it take up this much time?
Yeah. And they were doing it is kind of funny to watch though, and just see how desperate they were to hide the fact that Rosemary Clooney could not dance at
Yeah,
all. Like anytime they could put her in front of like some kind of anything in front of her, just to hide that she couldn't
that
dance is
they
really
would.
funny.
They would.
Yeah. All right. Legally Blonde. How do we feel? What's your
Um,
favorite?
I actually really like, oh my God, you guys is my favorite.
Mm,
Least favorite, Blood in the Water. I don't love it.
mm,
What
hmm.
about
I
you?
can see that. So I have So Much Better. It's such a good song. So good.
So good.
And then for the worst, I have Whipped into Shape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Or maybe Gay or European. It can be done really good, but
Actually, I've seen it done really well, so I know
yeah.
what you're saying. It could be.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have Bright Star. What is your favorite from Bright Star?
Don't make me pick a favorite. Oh, I'm gonna go with Whoa Mama, but it's so hard.
It's so hard. I have At Long Last, that final ballad she sings. Oh,
Yeah,
so good. The worst for me, I actually have She's Gone. I think they lean a little too hard into Billy's dad being an idiot,
yeah.
and so that's it serves a purpose because he's into the plot about his mom, but yeah, that would be my least favorite.
Yeah, I have Sun is Gonna Shine. It's just not
Mm, mm-hmm.
favorite of the show, but I mean, again, this show is
So
incredible. I
good.
think we both agree it's really underrated.
Yeah. All right, we'll do three more. So Phantom of the Opera. What do you think?
For me, All I Ask of You is definitely my favorite.
Mm,
Although Phantom isn't one of my absolute favorite shows, but I love All I Ask of You. What's
mm.
your
I have Wishing You Were Somewhere Here. Again, I love that song. It's so beautiful. And then for worst, like I don't know if it really counts if it's intermediary, but just that any song that the manager people singing like the Notes song or Carlotta's songs, stuff like
Yeah,
that, they're serviceable. They're for the plot, but those would be my least favorite.
they get us there, but yes, it's not really doing anything for me. I'm gonna also say this is definitely controversial, but the music of the night, I always feel totally creeped out, and I'm like, oh, I'm over this guy. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, ew, leave her alone, please.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, then we have Little Shop of Horrors. So my favorite from that is Somewhere That's Green. What's your favorite?
Me too. Somewhere that's green.
Mm. And least favorite is Meek Shell and Harriet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mine,
'Cause there's really they're all bangers. Like, what do you pick?
I mean,
Really a
honestly,
bad song.
I was actually thinking that my least favorite is the dentist song, but I think you're right. I had forgotten about that song.
Yeah, it's a fun villain song.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
our
yeah,
last one. Our last one is West Side Story. This is a tough one. What's your favorite West Side
tonight.
Story? Yeah, that's a good one. I have Somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's also, it's really hard, honestly, like to pick a least favorite from this. I don't
Yeah.
even know what I would pick. Like, what's your least favorite?
I mean, I feel pretty down and I don't hate it, but it's probably my least favorite. I don't know. What do they have in the movie?
Yeah,
They swap where they have Officer Krusty and Cool.
but
Um,
it's so good. They're both so good though.
yeah. I think I Feel Pretty is probably my least favorite, but it's still a
You know,
good song.
I can see that because I think the same way I think about other songs that I've mentioned where like Shapoopy is fun to sing, but I don't like hearing it, all these things. I think I feel pretty. It's like it's fun, but it's not, I'm usually not as engaged during that part as I am for the rest of the musical.
Yeah. So I did ask on I asked on Utah Theater Lovers what they thought. And we have Mandy Nielsen. She says, Wicked, Defying Gravity, and Something Bad. My Fair Lady, Could Have Danced All Night, Get Me to the Church, Sound of Music. There are not any bad songs. Seven Brides is Going Courtin' and Ding Dong. White Christmas, and the choreography songs. Oklahoma, Oh What a Beautiful Morning, and Poor Judd. We didn't get to that one, but yeah. So Alexis says Something Bad and The Wizard and I. Yeah, definitely
Yeah. The
it-
Wizard and I. Okay, Alexis. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I
I
got
think
it.
she got those split. I think
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I'm just guessing. So
yeah.
Emily Clark, she says, Dear Evan Hansen, the best Requiem, worst To Break in a Glove. Hairspray, best I Know Where I've Been, worst Miss Baltimore Crabs. We didn't get Hairspray, but Hamilton, best, picking a best is hard, but maybe Yorktown, and Washington on Your Side. The worst is Burn. And that is it. So yeah, let us know what you think, what your picks would be. And thanks for doing this. This was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Rachel, thank you for putting together this list. It was really fun to take a look at all these musicals that are so iconic and that we love, and to really, get into the nitty-gritty
Yeah.
of the best and the worst of what they have to offer.
It's a fun way to talk about a bunch of different shows all at once.
Yeah.
So how do people follow you, your content, everything you do?
Jacklyn Collier on Instagram.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes, and at rachelsreviewstheater.com. And make sure you're following everything at the OnStage Black Theater podcast and on the site, all the different articles. And make sure to check that out. There's some really good stuff. We have some fun episodes. We got some fun ones coming up. So take a look. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.